Lesson 10. What we're doing in Lesson 10 is we're using the fact that we learned in Lesson 9 that star and x are opposites. So if star is a 5, x has to be a negative 5. If x is a 9, star has to be a negative 9. So those are opposites. We're going to take advantage of that today. So here we have our first problem. It's set up in the diagram motion instead of being in equation form. I got 3 x's and a star on one side. I got an x and a 4 on the other. So now if I look at that in hand, same board that you got, I got my 3 x's and my star and my x and my 4. Now here's what's neat. We know that x and star are opposites. X and star, since they're opposites, eliminate each other. It's like taking something from both sides, but they're on the same side, so I can eliminate them. So now what I have is I have 2 x's and an x and a 4. I can do my trick. I can remove an x from both sides, and I have x equals 4. So in this case here, I found out that x equals 4. Well, what does that tell you star is? Star has to be negative 4. And let me check that. I got 4, 4, 4, negative 4. And then I got 4 and then the number 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus negative 4 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. So that works out. Now, how do we write that down? Let's go back here and take a look at that. Let's do that again. Star and x cancel each other off. So I'm going to slide them off my board there. It's not like I'm taking it off like it's a minus. They eliminate each other. The x and the x eliminate each other. It tells me that x has to equal 4. And if x equals 4, that means star has to equal negative 4. I have to write both of those down. So now I go back to the original equation. Does it work? Does 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus negative 4, does that equal 4 plus 4? This is how I check. I just make sure the math works. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, plus negative 4 gives me an 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. Both sides equal. That works off. That's the way we do those. Okay, let's try another one. This time, we're given it as an equation. So I got 2x plus star plus x equals x plus 5. So 2x plus star plus x equals x plus 5. I got the equation set up. Like last time, star and x cancel each other out. So I'm going to remove them from my line. I've got an x on each side. I can bring them below my balance. I now have x equals 5. Well, if x is 5, what's star? Star would have to be negative 5. So I'm going to check that. I got 5 plus 5, negative 5 and 5. On the right-hand side, I just got the 5 and the x. So 5 plus 5 is 10, plus negative 5 is 5, plus 5 is 10. On the right-hand side, I got x, or 5, plus 5, I've got 10. So let's do that by hand over here, see what's going on. I've got, 2 x's, and a star, and another x, and I've got an x, and a 5. So I can do this either way, but a star and an x eliminate each other from one side. I can take an x from both sides, and it tells me I do. I have x equals 5, which means star has to equal negative 5. I have to write them both down. So now let's check to make sure it does work. I go back to my original equation. And does 5 plus 5 plus negative 5 star plus 5, does that equal 5 plus 5? Well, 5 plus 5 is 10, plus negative 5 plus 5. 10 plus negative 5 is 5. Gives me 5 plus 5 gives me 10 on that side. 5 plus 5 is 10 on the right side. Those equal each other. Let's try one more here. Let's try 4x plus star plus 1 equals 2x plus 5. I'm just going to do that here in the whiteboard instead of going over to the hands-on. But I'm doing it the same way. I'm bringing in my 4 stars, my 4 x's, and I'm bringing in my star, and I'm bringing in my 1. So I've got it set up just like it said in that equation. And now I've got it 2x and a 5. Okay, so there I have it set up. Now I could do that on the hand-on thing as well. It's set up just like this. Then what I would do is my star and my x, they pull each other off of one side of the equation. I have 2x's on the left and 2x's on the right. They can take each other off of the equation. I'm left with x and 1 equaling 5. Well, that tells me that x would have to be 4. And if x is 4, star is negative 4. Well, now I check it. Let's go back to the original equation. Too many things to move here. Okay. Not very clear, is it? Here we go. So I have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus star, negative 4, plus 1. That's my left-hand side. I've got 4 plus 4 plus 5 on the right. 4 plus 4 plus 4, okay. Those 4 4s give me 16, plus negative 4 plus 1. 16 plus negative 4 is 12, plus 1 gives me a 13. On the other side, the 4 plus 4 gives me 8. I get 8 plus 5. That gets me 13. Those equal each other, so that works. So the trick today is right here with star and x. Since they're opposites, they eliminate each other from that side of the board. However, when I get my answer, I have to make sure I count for both star and x in my answer.